Alright guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing off my modded Nintendo Switch OLED. If you ever thought about modding your Switch, trust me, there's a lot of things you need to know first. Let's give it a go. In 2025, modding your Switch is easier than ever. Before, it used to cost upwards of $300 just to find someone able to micro solder it onto your device for you without completely bricking your system. Now you can find someone locally within your area for 60 to 100 bucks, which is a great deal by the way. And you can even find the mod chip itself on AliExpress or any other great website for up to 10 to 15 bucks. But before you get into this yourself, there's a couple things you need to know, and let's get right into it. First is that not every Switch can be modded. Most Switches can be modded if you have someone that can micro solder one of the chips onto it. If you have a V1 Switch, you're just going to need a jig, which is very easily. But after the release of the V2 Switch, the OLED Switch, most people are going to struggle if they don't have the funds or have people in the area that can micro solder it onto your device for you. And that's something you should find out before you go ahead and purchase your mod chip. Next is the big risk of getting banned. You have a high probability of getting banned if you ever accidentally for a split second go online while using any one of your mods or any game that you're not supposed to own, right? But we won't be doing that today. We will not be playing any games that we won't own and purchase ourselves, okay? And you'll also obviously void your warranty if you go ahead and open up your Switch and do anything else to it. But for some of you guys, that needs to be said, all right? And also do your homework. Go ahead and research all about this. Use the forums of what they want you to do after you mod your Switch, just to get all the cool stuff that you would want to get in the first place. Do your homework. And if you have anything that you see on this video that you would like me to explain more, go into depth more how to install it on my device, I will gladly do that for you. And with all that being said, let me show you my modded Switch and what it can do. Okay, so before the fun part, I just want to let you guys know that I stopped using my Switch around a year and a half ago. Just even regularly. I mean, I rarely used my Switch even back then, but I completely stopped using it a year and a half ago just because it became so repetitive playing the same things, and a lot of the games don't go down in price after years of being out, and that really bummed me out. um, but because I modded the Switch, it became a breath of fresh air and put this device in such a different category than a lot of other handheld devices, and I'm gonna go through that with you guys today. So now let's get into the fun part and show you what you can do with your Switch modded. First, it's gonna load up Hakate. If you guys want a video on what to do right after you mod your Switch and how to set it up and what I did to get everything that I have, let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to show you guys how I got all my mods on here and the struggles that I went through, so you guys don't have to go through it as well. All right, so this is what it's gonna look like every time you power off your console and then turn it on. It's gonna bring you here, and it's going to give you a couple ways to launch your system. The sys MMC is your stock firmware, which is just a regular Switch. The sys MMC CFW and the emu MMC CFW is what you're usually going to be using. emucc is what I use for my mods, so let's go ahead and click on that, and it's going to load up. All right, so it loaded up, and now you can see my custom theme. I have the Sharingan eyes as my lock screen, and you could customize this as you please. You can even make your own. So now let's go in and show you what I have. I even have a custom home screen as well. I have a custom app screen with Rick and Morty, which is just my favorite. Is a drawn screen. You can even customize how the setting looks like and all that. All right, so as you can see, I have a bunch of games. Now we're not going to play any Nintendo games on here just because you know how they get. But I will show you all these games that I have here. These are all the games that I downloaded on my Switch. All right, so now when you mod your Switch, how are you going to see your mods? You're going to go into the gallery. All right, my gallery is up here. It would normally be down here for you guys. When you open it, your homebrew apps are going to show up. All right, so you see I have a bunch, and what I did was I got a mod pack from online and I put it into one of my SD cards, and that's how I got all my apps. And but the problem with those is that some of them need to be updated, so it might be better for you to just get them individually and get it all up to date as just like that. So you can see I have the PSPP, I have the PSP games, I have the loader, I have tinfoil that I'll show you in a little bit, and I have sys LC manager, which lets you upgrade per game. It lets you use more of your raw power and overclock your console. 90 DNS testing utility is one of the best things you can have. One of the first things you should have on your Switch, just because it blocks all the Nintendo internet access. And sometimes you'll actually need to go on the internet just to update some games or some of your homebrew apps. And 90 DNS will block Nintendo from seeing it. Now, these mods and specifically revive the game console for me, just because I'm able to play all the games that I always wanted to, and some of the games that I lost, which is pretty much all of them. I lost the cartridge to all of these games that I own, and now I have access to them again, as well as the cheats, so I can make my life really fun and easy. But there's even some cooler things you could do, which I'll show you right now. Here's the coolest thing about the Switch that I'm gonna show you guys right now. This is one of the best mods in my opinion, is that you could put any Bluetooth controller to your Switch, and I'm gonna show you guys how it works right now. I have a PlayStation 5 controller that I'm gonna connect to the Switch, and it's really simple. Click on the Joy-Con icon, change order, and now you just put it on Bluetooth mode. And once it starts flashing, you just connect it, and there you go. It's assuming that it's one of the Pro controllers for the Switch, but it's actually the PlayStation 5 controller. Now it's going to be really simple to go ahead and play any game you want. A lot of these games are even better on the PlayStation controller. If you guys have another PlayStation controller like the PlayStation 4 or even a PlayStation 3, it works really well on these Switches. And I find the experience with the PlayStation controller is so much better than the actual Joy-Cons. I mean, when I'm usually playing one of these games, the non-Nintendo games, I'm using a different kind of controller, and it makes the experience so much better. And buying a Switch Pro controller is just expensive for no reason at all. And this saves it, in my opinion. This has made the experience for the Switch change in my mind so much. Now I'm playing the Switch almost every day. And if there's a new game that I want, I get it. First I buy it. Um, but and then I go ahead and I get it online, just because I don't have space at my home for these cartridges. But other than that, you could even press the PlayStation button to bring you home, and it's just such a cool experience to just go ahead and use a PlayStation controller. And it's pretty much just like having a really expensive console in your hand, um, to the point where you could bring it anywhere. Now, these are the main reasons that the Switch has been revived back into my life so late in 2025 after I purchased this so many years ago. But I had to let you guys know because it's such a good device once you mod it and you get all the workarounds for this device. I even started playing The Last of Us. I started streaming The Last of Us from my PC to my Switch, so I could sit down on my bed, I could go to the toilet and play The Last of Us wherever I am in the house. And now I could go ahead and play it on my Switch. I've been so obsessed with the show, so I had to go ahead and replay it, and this device made it so much easier for me to do that. If you guys want a full tutorial on what to do after you mod your Switch, after you have the mod chip installed on your Switch, let me know. I will show you guys the safest way so you guys don't get banned and you guys don't mess up your inner components of the Switch, because if you get a brick, there's nothing you can really do about that. All right, let me know in the comment section below so you don't miss that. Hit the like and subscribe button so I could give that for you guys, and let me know what else you would want to see. You could even put Android OS on here and use it like a computer, a little personal laptop, which is also so outrageous what you could do. There's so many things you could do with the device, and this is what revived it in 2025. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.